we're on the head coaching carousel, but now what I want to do is I want to rank the remaining head coaching jobs. So there's 4 openings right now. So 4 openings. We're going to start at 4. The worst head coach job opening, in my opinion, is the Carolina Panthers.
I agree. No further analysis needed. That team sucks. Everything about it sucks.
Not bad. I mean, there's only... Yeah, it's bad. It's just bad. We're gonna have a really we're gonna have a really hard time when we talk about like each one of these teams for the offseason and what their offseason might look like. Like what's one person they should sign? What's one person to stay away from? What's one person they should re-sign and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna have a really hard time. I think we might both have a really hard time with the Panthers because it's like, can we really pick out just one thing that you should do?
I think we should both run upstairs, fire up Madden, start a league of our own, not together, just separately with the Carolina Panthers, and do whatever we possibly can do, and then just sim each week, and we'll see who comes up with a better record. And if anyone gets better than like 6 wins, and they get a lifetime supply of Snickers bars or something, because I couldn't even begin to tell you what the hell they're going to do. They're so screwed up Schitt's Creek.
Oh yeah.
I honestly, if I were them, I'd call the Detroit Lions OC and I'd say, here's our checkbook, right? Whatever you want, here we go. Please do whatever you can to fix. Because if Bryce Young is a bust, that franchise is set back in a major way. They need him to be productive next year.
Yeah, and finding a coach or somebody who wants to be the head coach of that franchise is going to be tough. Couple of guys I mentioned before, Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick, Eric Bieniemy are guys who might consider it.
Bieniemy might for sure,
but I don't know, man. It's gonna be really tough to find a guy to take over that team.
Yeah, that one's the worst by far,
easily. And then now, I mean, we're taking a step up. At least third to me is the Seattle Seahawks.
I guess I think again they already have their head coach lined up. So
Dan Quinn, yeah, who's the top candidate.
I think know. You got to go into a division with Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. That doesn't seem.
And it feels like the team this isn't a team when it comes to head coaches. I feel like a lot of them, when you are jumping into a new position, you want to be able to have your hands on things, right? I want to be able to have cap space. I want to be able to have high draft picks. I want to have a lot of draft picks. I want to be able to make this a rebuilding process that I can rebuild in a couple of years to turn it around, 2 years, 3 years to turn this team around and go into it. This is a team that's pretty balanced in terms of age and experiences and talent at the key positions. It's good enough to be a playoff contender right now. And then like a middle of the road quarterback at Geno. The thing is, his salary cap is tight in 2024. And they do have a decent amount of draft capital, but they're missing like their second round pick this year. I'm not super sold on this head coaching spot because of how prepared they are to be a playoff contender now. And they seem very set. They're a set roster with not a lot of cap space.
And it feels weird to me. Who wants to be in that position where you're going to be drafting between like 15 and 23 every year? That's NFL purgatory. You don't want to be there. How are they going to upgrade a quarterback? Like DK Metcalf is nice. They got a young running back. That's cool.
Yep.
But how are you going to upgrade in a major way? They might be able to land Micah Parsons in free agency. That'll be nice for them. But besides, besides that, how Geno Smith can't beat the 49ers. Geno Smith can't beat the Rams. Like you can't keep. I like Geno. I love what he's done with his career. That's cool. You made it to the playoffs a couple times, but
Geno's really messed up that rebuilding process, huh? I mean, the best chance you had was when Russell went out the door, and then you can finish as a bottom 5 team in the league, and you can go ahead and draft your next quarterback. But Geno Smith comes in, and all of a sudden he's playing as well as he has in Nelson. They're playoff contender still, and it's all okay. Kind of ruined their chances a little bit at rebuilding when they had that chance, when that expectation was there when Russell left. So,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if it's Dan Quinn, maybe they do. But if they bring in a young guy, they might just move off of Geno and kind of reset it a little bit. Because right now they're kind of in that NFL purgatory right now. So
Is 3 the Seahawks to you, or is 3 someone else?
I think that's right. I think that's right. I mean, it's not a terrible place to land, but how are you going to improve the roster?
Yeah.
I think obviously the number one coaching job is probably pretty easy. So the battle between 2 and 3 is just.
Is it?
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Please continue.
So I think 1 and 2 could be easily switched. I'm not sure who you have at these spots. 2 to me is the Falcons. So 2 is the Falcons. Do you have Falcons at 1, or do you have the Falcons at 2?
Number 1.
The Falcons at 1. Yeah.
Arthur Blank wants to spend so much money before he dies. Well, they already have so much talent on the offensive side of the ball. They got a young, shutdown corner. Their quarterback sucks, but that's okay because you don't have to worry about now you get to upgrade the most important position, and you get to go get Kirk Cousins, or you get to go get Baker Mayfield, or you get to go get Sam Darnold, or whatever you're going to do. There's a lot, and those are all quarterbacks you don't have to sign massive contracts to, so you can kind of just pivot. It's a good place to be from a being able to move off of something really quick type of situation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is I think there's talent, a lot of talent on this team. And use a good word and pivot. Like, you can almost pivot the talent to like swap it out for something a little bit better almost. The Falcons have a decent amount of cap space. They could be decent spenders this free agency if they want to. The draft capital's there. It's in a good spot. Plus an extra 3rd round draft pick from the Calvin Ridley trade. So, which looks like a pretty decent trade for them on that side for a 3rd round pick. So I like it. I think it's fine. I like the 1 spot better because it's a full rebuild spot than the Falcons are. So, and depending on who you are and what type of coach you want to be and how much control you want over your team, depends on where you want to go. If you're a guy like Bill Belichick, who's the top candidate right now for Atlanta and who's had multiple meetings with Atlanta, it's a pretty good place to go, especially since the owner's super hands off. Not super hands off. He's like middle of the road hands off. He's fine. Not super hands on, not super hands off. He's kind of middle of the road type guy, and he's willing to hand over the keys to the Ferrari and to Bill Belichick and said, "Here you go. This is yours." I think it's a good spot. I think it's fine. I could switch 2 and 1 pretty easily.
Did you see the Vic Fangio news today?
I did see the Vic Fangio news. Yeah.
They say he's going to the Eagles.
Yes, I did see that. The Eagles
I'm
had
surprised that when they announced, it's funny, when they announced that Vic Fangio is being let go, I texted my buddy Rich and I said, Chargers hiring Harbaugh today. He was like, why? I was like, because they just let Fangio go. And that's Harbaugh's defensive coordinator, Lord Fangio. But apparently he's going to the Eagles.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say the Eagles have interest.
Well, I'll let you take the reins on number 1 then, because obviously you're pretty sold there.
Yeah. So number 1, the Commanders. I think this team is has the same candidates as the Panthers. Any solid offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick, Eric Bieniemy. Since Bieniemy's still, obviously, he's there, is a big punch there. So Commanders have a lot of capital, thanks obviously to they suck ass. So the record sucks. So because of that, they have a high draft pick. They have the third pick in the draft, right? Second pick in the draft. So, and then they have midseason trades for Chase Young, Montez Sweat, which Montez, we haven't even talked about him at all. Montez looked great in Chicago. Then you have good receivers and, Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. And it's going to be good support for a new quarterback. Whoever comes in, probably Drake May. Defensive tackles, Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen lay a good foundation on the defense. No team has more cap space this year than they do. And they don't have to spend it on a quarterback and really low expectations for success. I think whoever comes in is going to get handed the full keys, and he's going to have full control to do whatever he wants. Whatever he wants, he's going to get.
I guess my thing for that is if Jacob Taylor is out there and he's looking for the best job for him, you got the Commanders. They got all this capital. They can go get all these players. You got the Falcons. They already have all the players.
Yeah.
except for the quarterback. And we don't know. Drake May could be a bust. You know, he might be great. He might not. What it really comes down to me is how are the Commanders going to be better than the Eagles and the Cowboys in the coming years, and how can the Falcons be better than the Bucks and the Saints in the coming years? And I just think the path to relevancy in the Falcons division is a lot easier. So that being said, if I was ranking it as Drew Taylor's a head coaching candidate, I would go, frankly, because I think there's some value there. I think that you can flip Kyle Pitts for a couple of different things, and you already got you got a wide receiver there. You got a dynamic running back on a rookie contract that you don't have to worry about paying, and you can't tell me that Drake May is going to be better next year than Kirk Cousins will be next year. You can't tell me that Drake May is going to be better next year than what Baker Mayfield could potentially do. He might be, but like I feel bad for the rookies coming in this year because everyone's going to want Caleb to be CJ Stroud. Everyone's going to want Drake May to be CJ Stroud. It ain't going to happen. It's impossible. And God forbid the NFL. I know the NFL schedule. I don't know if the weeks have come out. Have the actual weeks come out yet?
No,
I know
just the opponents.
God forbid Drake May has to play, you know, Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys defense week 1. Like, God, that would suck. Hopefully the NFL's smarter than that. Hopefully they put them against like the Panthers or something.
Oh, man. Sometimes they're sadists and they like to do really messed up things.
Who knows? Micah Parsons may not even be on the team next year. It might be someone else.
All right, man. Well, that's going to end our head coaching carousel right there.